Hi guys, there's a little bit of snow there since last night, but it's not sticking though. Nothing serious. Just out taking a few checks. Had mink traps here, but absolutely nothing doing whatsoever. I think I've caught something like 4 to 5 foxes since I saw you last. Just been tipping around. Had no real time to record, especially with the rain. So I said I would do a bit of recording today. This is the area I'm in. Bit of a forestry planting. This is just all willow. Willow and birch. Had a snare there, but I took it up. But caught a fox down here during the last snow. I kind of just, it was one of the lighter cable snares, brake cable for my bike. He just sat there and twisted and busted out of it really. But now I kind of got the cable. I finally got the cable I've been looking for. Got a roll of 250 meters, 7x7 aircraft cable. So it's good quality. Foxes won't sit and bust out of that. Right, so there is, I just set that there now. That's where the fox sat and just twisted out of it. But I gave it a week. I had that stick going across now a week now, and it's all set up a guts of a week. So they can't go around. It's one way in, one way out. That is the snare there. The last snares I had were way too shiny. So these cables I have now, I boiled them in baking soda. That got rid of all the grease. And then I boil them overnight then in tea bags. And that does a great job. Right, so that is the snare I have there. So like I said, one way in, one way out. Right, let's get checking on to the next ones. Now I'm just checking my snares in the game sanctuary. I just put this mink bucket here. When it comes to mink trapping, lads, there's never any need to be spending big money. I have a mink bucket there now and I'll show you what I do with it. You might have seen them in previous videos where I've actually caught mink in them. Right, I have this mink bucket here a while, so I'm just going to put this Mark 6 fen trap into it now. There is the hole. I get these buckets for free, so that's why I use them. Now you can put, you know what you can do is you can put fish oil into it for a bit of an attractant, but it's going to go into the hole anyway, but put a bit of fish oil into it just for a little bit extra attractant into it. Right, I'll put this in and show what I do. There you go guys, cheap and cheerful Mark 6 fen trap in the bucket set. Now I use these big buckets because I get them for free, but you can also use paint buckets guys. I think it's the 16 kg ones. There you go. So it goes in that hole and stands right on your Mark 6. Like I said, you can put grass in there now and you can put some fish oil in there, but these guys are lethal. I'm back using these again. Now this is the river I'm on. I've set mink trap in, trapping this all my life. Now, lovely bit of a tree growing across there. That's just tailor-made for a mink trap. Got lots of mink. I couldn't tell you how many mink I've caught in this river now. I have, see, 2 more mink traps up the other end and 2 fox snares. I've no fox snares in this for a long time now because I was thin on the ground. I had to move them around. So fox snares back here now, and 2 bait stations. 2 foxes, dead foxes in the hedge up there. A nice path going into them. Alright guys, let's get checking. Now there is foxes around, as you can see there. There is foxies. But have they gone into my snares is the question. I only have 2 snares up here. Here's the first one, and the answer is no. Now, big difference there between that snare and the last time I had a snare there. You can't see that. And that's the way I like them. Like I said, I boil them in baking soda. And then I leave them overnight stewing then in tea bags. Does a great job on them. Ooh, it's the area I'm in, guys. My hands are absolutely freezing. A bit of a bait station in there. A bit of a dead fox in there that they're eating on. I have a nice pack coming onto it. And as you can see, I have the snare. But you can barely see it. That's the way you can have them. So a nice pack going in to eat that fox. But it's getting cold now. So I should be catching something. I have a really nice tunnel trap there for mink along that ledge. Catch a world of mink on that every year. So it's a hole going in, a hole coming out, and a Mark 6 fen trap in the middle. That's all it is. But you can also put a snare there as well. It's a nice area for foxes. They're coming across, jumping onto this piece of, and going up there. You can see the path going up there. So, oh, you can see Mr. Fox tracks there as well. Mr. Fox tracks. But you know for a fact, it'll also be Mr. Pine Marten. Mr. Pine Marten will be using that as well. Right guys, let's get on to the next one. A tunnel trap there as well, for a bit of fun. A little bit extra, a bit of a tunnel trap there. Not that there's much to be catching around here anymore. There's no squirrels, stoats, rabbits, nothing. The place is dead. Mr. Pine Marten took all the grey squirrels, which isn't a bad thing. They're an invasive species. Rabbits have all gone with the virus and the mixie. The rabbits gone, the stoats are gone. So there's not a whole lot to catch now apart from the mink and the fox anymore. I don't have a snare on that anymore because what I want to do is I'm going to tidy that branch up a bit. I'm going to put a snare actually on that branch there, just there, because that branch there I think is a little bit thin. I had attached that before when I caught the fox. You can see where it chewed on it, so I might want to put maybe 2 branches there, even a little bit thicker. But I think I might just attach a snare to that branch there. Right, on to the next one. Alright folks, here's another bucket set. When I started trapping mink first, about 20 odd years ago, this was an unbelievable spot for the mink. It wasn't a planting at the time, it was actually a full forestry. I used to have a path that this wasn't here at the time. You could walk into this forestry easy. A big path going in, coming straight from the green road all the way in. And I had a path going all the way from the drain. Like it was like very same as a rabbit path going all the way across into that drain. But we tinned them all down over the years. Now, so there is a bucket set. Now, when I came, that was knocked over. And the reason it was knocked over is because I had bait in it. Now, when you have bait in a trap like that, the first thing that's going to come along is Pine Marten, badger, or whatever, and it's going to be knocked over and played around with. Okay, so I set that back up and reset it. Alright, guys. Now I have to backtrack out of this area now. I have to go check some fox snares, and I have one more bucket set left. So they're very handy. Now, the reason I use them is to get them for free. So drill a hole in them, put your trap in, and they are very effective. Very effective, guys. Okay, now I'm going to leave those buckets there, not going to be moving them around. That's why I went back using them again. Alright guys, chat to you later. Just before I leave the forestry, to show you that, guys. Forestry Commission put those things there to walk across, but they're also tailor-made for snaring and mink traps. Right, chat to you later. Since I was talking to you last, lads, I got a vixen here. So there's 2 foxes now on that path. And I have another bucket set there. A bit of a bait station in there as well, and you can see all the paths going up to it. So I have a couple of dead foxes there. So the other foxes are going in now to eat them. Okay, see all the paths going up to it. Right, let's have a look at this bucket set. Nah, nothing in it. Nice area though, right beside the bridge. Any tracks? Nope, nothing doing, guys. Nothing doing at all. Same river I just showed you where those traps were. I was like set a couple of traps on them. So the mark 6 in that, guys, in the hole there. But no bait in that. So it's kind of like not properly organised this time, guys. Usually I have a bit of fish oil in that, but nothing. It just goes along the road. Yeah, that'd be a nice place there for a fen trap. It's going underneath there, parallel to the road, coming off the river. So that's the way mink hunt. Mink don't necessarily always go along rivers. They can go miles away from rivers. They'll travel along these little pipeways like this. Right, on to the next one. Now I've just walked up along the river, and just where it meets the other hedge, you'd always imagine there'd be a great path here somewhere. But it goes down, and she cuts through there and along there. So I might put a snare there. So you can kind of see it down along the field. So they're kind of coming down here, down through there and maybe up there or across there, going up there. So it's along a river, so there has to be a path here. Has to be, even if there's not much track or sign or scent, there has to be a path here, guys, going up that way or somewhere going along it. So just some places to check for. Along the river, it's a great spot to be snaring. So you can see just there, coming in and going down. So I might just put a snare on that now. I got a fox here yesterday. Eventually got one. It's been knocked for a long time, pulled in. But finally got one. That's my new snares put there now. I always prefer to make my own snares. 7x7 aircraft cable, boiled them, dyed them, ready to go. Now I got stiff cable this time. I usually use soft, but this one is actually a bit stiff. So we'll see how we get on with that. Snow is coming down now, which is good to see. I want a lot more snow than this. Gives me a hand with the foxes, let me know where they are. It's great to see. We don't get it that often now in Ireland, but it's great to see. Now I might put a snare here. It's in the corner of the field and it's coming back from it. So there's a bit of a path going into it, a bit of a path the other side as well. So I might put a snare on that there now. Right, there it is, all set up, lads. Now make my snare a little bit lower than I would because the fox has his head down lower. Okay, a little bit lower. He's coming up and he's going down. So allow for that. So I always put a fox snare full hand up with just a little bit lower. Okay, so always a full fingers up, but it's just a little bit lower. Okay, so he's going down into it. Right, let's check a few more. Right, nothing doing here. As you can see, this snare is a little bit shiny now. A little bit shiny for my liking. You can even see the stopper, all shiny, guys. I was happy with catching a fox on this one. I always like, there's some snares, some paths I love catching them on. This would be one of them. Because all it was a bit of a track going through. Right, so hopefully we'll catch another one on that. But, you know, as I said, it's a bit bright. Right, on to the next. Alright guys, here's a little tip for you. There's always an area where you go through the hedge yourself and open it up a bit so you can get across. What I do is I always leave my own scent on it. So when you go to the toilet break, go on that area. That stops the fox from going where you're going. Because if you don't, lads, instead of using your paths, he'll use where you're going. Nice big open area. So mark your territory, lads. Same with gates. Now that's the path from the other side of the lane where I have the snare. Now this lane here is a super highway for foxes. Like I said, there's a bog that way, bog and forestry that way. Forestry that way, so there's no way, and it's super highway, guys. Loads of fox tracks on it. Right, I have a few snares down here, and it's a really stink of a fox. Super highway. There's paths coming off it everywhere, so I try to put down a few snares every time I can on this lane. Every time you see a new path starting up, stick a snare on it. Every day out in the countryside, guys, is a great day. Jeez, my jaws begin to freeze up a bit. Now that's a path from the other side. So I have a snare there. I just checked that. So you can see the path here coming up through. I might have to change that snare because it's a bit bright. I have a path down here, a snare on it, and just keeps being knocked up. So I think it's just badgers, I think, going underneath. So on a super highway like this as well, guys, you're gonna have badgers. So make sure that snare is high off the ground. Full fingers, guys, full hand, or you will catch them. Now, like I said, there is Mr. Badger. Look, Mr. Badger using this as well. So you gotta be careful, boys. Lots of fox on it as well. There's also Mr. Badger. Not to do in there, but actually thought that'd be the first place they catch a fox. Great path. It's coming out of a field, coming out of a gate. But like I can see a bit of a path opening up here. So there you go. So you mightn't fancy that path. Mucky. Alright. A few snares to check down here. I have a new one on the left hand side, a stinking fox. So fingers crossed. No joy here, lads. It's a really good path. We got fox and we got badger. There you go. Fox on the left, badger on the right. So you gotta be careful. Yeah, it's a really good path, that really smelly one. Does it have? Usually when there's a good path like that, there's usually a path on the far side, but like I said, I have a snare just there as well. Right, on to the next one. Nope, nothing doing. That's a really good path as well, but nothing doing there, lads. I keep getting a strong smell of fox. Really strong smell of fox on this lane. Right, one or two left. Now that's a really good path. You can see it coming out here. Really good path, lads. It's absolutely nothing. Hasn't even been touched. So I might just leave that there for a bit longer now. I have a snare down here. Because it's a path but no snare on it at the moment. I got a fox on it since the last time I seen you. And he left a bit of a gap. So I don't think I'll bother with it again. It's also very close to the road. Bit of a path there as well. So he left a bit of a gap. So you can see I caught a fox there since I was talking to you last, lads, and he opened it all the way up. So you'd have to do a bit of a patching up job there, a bit of a fencing job there, lads. So I don't think I'll bother. Don't think I'll bother with that. I'll just catch them somewhere else. Okay, chat you later, lads. I think I have one more snare left. Alright, nothing doing there. I got a fox there since the last time I seen ye. I got a dog fox there and a vixen just there. So I got a pair about 3 days ago. So like I said, I can see that snare, so it's a little bit shiny. So I have to replace that. Right guys, nothing to report today. Thanks for tagging along, thanks for watching. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Right, see you again guys, have a great day.